So one of the things we've talked about before is the importance of having a routine in recovery. And along with that, one of the most helpful things you can do is just exercise and work out.
Yeah, working out is probably one of the best things you can do as part of getting a routine going, because it helps you not only look better, but feel better about yourself, have that self-confidence, and also mentally, it helps repair your brain a lot quicker. So we're going to be talking to one of my good friends, Laren, who is probably one of the most fit, recovering addicts you'll ever meet, and talk to him just about how fitness has not only got him out of addiction, but it's become his life. You know, he's built his entire life is built around fitness and bodybuilding.
It's actually something he talked about. Is he was like, it's basically like he
Traded one addiction for the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Laren and I have actually been friends for 17 years. We actually met through a church camp, pre-drugs, but before too long, we were both into drugs and living a drug life.
What was it that first got you into, was it heroin or?
Yeah, okay, so heroin is where I ended, or that's like the peak of the drugs, I guess, that I got into that were severe. But it started with pills, opiates, Percocets, and Oxycontin. And I fell into a trap of like a music video, you know, like you're in a rap music video. And so I was living this music rap video with Ryan, you know, Ryan and other friends of ours. So it all started there. And then I remember the first time I did it, the guy who did it with me was like, hey, like, be careful, this is gonna, his exact words were, it's gonna grab you by the balls.
I remember that.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you'll just be careful, you're gonna get hooked on it real quick. And I was like, I don't have an addictive personality, I'm good. You know, like I've taken it before and I got nauseous and I puked, it wasn't even fun. Well, then he introduced me to snorting it. And so when I would swallow the pills, never had a good reaction. And so I was always easy to like, nope, I'm good. But then, you know, one night, I remember it was on a Saturday, he split a little bit of it with me, and I did some, and then long story short, from that first time I did it, within a month I was fully hooked on it, and I was doing 5 or 6 of them a day, which if you do the math back, and that's almost like $100 to $120 a day in a pill habit that I had to continually keep going day in and day out. And so it was a very expensive habit, but at the same time, it just got out of control. So it was like a snowball. Once the snowball started rolling, it was within 6 months, you know. That's how it escalated from a social, having fun, playing video games, getting a little high, to at the time I had the money to afford it. And then that's where the actual real drug addict part kicked in, was once I lost all the money and the job or the hustle I had, and I had to move home, I ran out of the ability to pay for it. So therefore I had to steal from mom and dad. I had to do a lot of really grimy things and nothing severe, like, you know, I don't think I ever robbed anybody like in person or like, but it was just, I stole things, you know, like jewelry, rings, things from my parents, silverware, stuff like that. And so it very quickly turned into a problem. And then I sold all of my stuff, and it was like, next thing I knew, I had no DVDs, I had no Blu-rays, I'd sold all my systems, I'd sold the faceplate out of my car for eight pills, you know, a $500 DVD player for 8 little pills that I remember the guy even wanted a pill to uninstall it. So the whole thing was like, I was so desperate that I was giving away everything.
So it was like currency.
And then stuff that wasn't mine, whatever I could get my hands on. I'm pretty sure I stole stuff from Ryan, and I'm pretty sure Ryan stole stuff from me.
Absolutely, I absolutely did.
We were friends, but it was like, at the end of the day, the main thing was getting high.
So the turning point for Laren actually came when we both went through a really traumatic experience, and he was able to get clean and has stayed clean for over a decade now.
After that situation, it was very shocking. Something needed to change, you know, or else I'd be dead or in prison. I remember vaguely like looking in the mirror in my bathroom, and I was 145 pounds. And like I had bags under my eyes. I was eating 1 meal a day, and I was throwing up like 2-3 times a day because that was just normal. That was like normal routine, was like, and it wasn't like I was throwing up like a bunch of food. I was like, anyways, puking. I was just drug addict puking. And so I was very unhealthy, and I looked very unhealthy, like a skeleton. I remember looking in the mirror and feeling like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like Skeletor. And then the next day I went to a church event with my mom. It was Christmas, and I opened up to my mom and was like, this is what's going on. I need your help. I have no control over it. Can I come home? I'll give you guys all my stuff. Like, I literally can't, like, because I had been trying with Suboxone and other things to do it myself, try to fix it myself. It just doesn't work. Like, it's really hard. It's really hard because eventually that wears off and then you want to go back to the other thing. And so it was a vicious cycle.
And I think your story is awesome too, because you, like, we had the craziness happen, and you, like, your parents took you in and really helped you out. You know, they kept you there. If I'm not mistaken, was that what happened?
Yeah, I actually tried to go to a rehab center, and I got kicked out of the rehab center because they decided to keep an alcoholic rather than me. And at the time I didn't understand. I remember I was really confused, like, why would you kick a heroin addict out but keep an alcoholic, you know? And they explained to me that somebody that's an alcoholic could potentially die if they quit drinking.
Correct.
If you're a heroin addict and you just quit, you're not gonna die. You're gonna go through extreme withdrawals. And so they kicked me out, and so I didn't even get accepted to the rehab facility. And my dad, it was either I could go home with my parents, but which they were not completely accepting of it right away, but when they realized I had nowhere else to go and that I had kind of made the first step of committing to not doing stuff, I gave them my cell phone.
They saw the willingness to change.
Yeah, I gave my credit card, my wallet, I gave them everything, and I told them not to let me leave their side. And then my dad made sure for like 21 days I went to work with him. I got up at 6 a.m. I didn't even get to sleep in. So I went through my withdrawals, but it was like I was in the car, and I had to just kind of deal with it. I didn't have the opportunity. So my experience was a little bit unusual, and so once I finally got away from it and I felt the freedom of, I didn't come right back to the gym. It was
How long do you think it took you? How long was it until you got that drive to work out again? Was it?
I think within 2 weeks, once I finally was not fiending and not needing the drugs to feel normal throughout the day, I started doing push-ups and sit-ups, and my mom had a little ab twist. I don't know if you guys ever seen the infomercial. You sit in a chair, and so I had I had a little calendar that came with the ab twist that my mom never used, and I wrote my first workout plan. It was push-ups, sit-ups, and ab twists, and I was eating ramen soup and ham, and I would cut the ham up, and I'd eat ramen soup 4 times a day. So I had no idea anything about nutrition, but I was refeeding my body after, because when I quit, I was 145 pounds.
145.
Yeah. So
what do you weigh right now?
230.
Wow.
Yeah.
And kind of lean, so that's mostly gains.
95. Okay, got it.
Well, now, if only I had done that from the weight of 200 to 300, then I would be like Ronnie Coleman. But we'll take it.
Yeah. Hot dang, man.
Yeah.
I'd say the gym is what saved my life. Fitness is what saved my life. Time to go work out.
It's proven that if 3 times a week, if you get your heart rate up to a certain amount, exercising for, I think, 45 minutes a day, your brain heals itself quicker. Our bodies are amazing things, and
it's like a natural high.
Exactly. The dopamine that you get is amazing.
The bodybuilding thing gives me a place to throw my addictive personality and outlet where there's no achieving, it's a forever achieving process, if that makes sense, which is kind of like what drugs is, because once you do drugs, you're forever trying to achieve that same, you're always chasing, you're chasing a high you'll never achieve. And so for me, I kind of need that. And so that's what bodybuilding is for me, is I'm always achieving it. But that's what's helped drive my focus, because I see a lot of friends who will get out of it and then get back into it, and then get out of it and get back into it. And most of the time, I feel like it's because it's you need something to believe in. And so I got really lucky and fortunate to find bodybuilding, which some people find silly, but Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, and so that was something that helped me also start a business where I could take my hustling skills, which was things I'd learned on the street and what we had done with bad stuff, but apply it to a business that could help people and lose weight. So I started a personal training business in my parents' food storage closet. I wrote my first workout plan for a guy at the track, like at the school track, and I charged him $100, and it was a diet and a workout plan that he could do at home. And so that was like my first, so from that moment on I became a personal trainer. My religion is kind of like nature, animals, and fitness, which sounds really silly to people, but that's, it transitioned from like church to another passion, and so it was able to dump that same type of passion into animals and stuff, I don't know. And so I think that's important for any drug addict, is you have to find something that you fall in love with that is enough to keep you away from going back to the other.
And as they open up the front door, 2 guys with handguns rush in, like push the door open.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna get shot. Like, I'm gonna get shot.
And then it's just bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh my God, what are you doing there? It's just like, get out of here, I got it, like, get out of here.
After that situation, it was very shocking.
It was just the craziest experience of my life.